They removed the single-player Battlefield so they can focus on multiplayer. Next Battlefield will ship without weapons so they can really focus on the multiplayer. Wait, what? I don't think Battlefield should do single-player. I think they should just they should look back at Battlefield 3 and 4 and say, what was it about those games that made them such a big hit? Why don't we just take the modern engine, everything that we can do right now that we couldn't do 10 years ago, just try and get that magic formula back, because that worked. They won't listen to feedback, no, but they will listen to sales. Yeah, they've realized how much money that they have not made, so now they know financially that if you do what you do, you're not going to get the money back. And yeah, they'll listen to accountants. Top of the screen has the information you want, Denda. Well, Senator, have you seen that whole Diablo thing? The whole microtransaction pay-to-win stuff is properly kicked off with Diablo. Yeah, I think you're right, Hendo. I think a lot of people, myself included, will be very reluctant to pre-order. Yeah. You know, I used to look forward to Battlefield coming out of the year. Now it's just like, nope. Some packs in Call of Duty are £25 for new guns and camos. What? Are they cosmetic or are they actually... The pay-to-win in Call of Duty is paying for hacks? I'm not sure what you mean by that. So hang on, in Call of Duty, are you paying for camos and weapon skins, or are you paying for something that does more damage? Diablo Immortal, $110,000 to max level, someone calculated it. Dear me. Some guns can only be unlocked through Battle Pass packs. Well, Grubby Zebra, that's not what you're saying. Oh yeah, Beatnik. Yeah. If DICE and Infinity Ward have been left to do their own thing, that has still been making great games. You can max out in Diablo without paying, but you have to spend several years, 10 I think. Okay. I don't know, that's just mad. Frostbite engine is supposed to be very hard to use compared to Unreal Unity. Yeah, I don't know. Call of Duty is kind of pay to win. They tend to have OP weapon meta that could unlock through gameplay. Yeah, you see, if you're disadvantaged until you unlock something that you have to pay for, that's pay to win. Yeah, cheaters plague every game though, don't they? Like every multiplayer game is plagued by hackers. Everyone. Battlefield, Call of Duty, Siege, like I've played against hackers in every single multiplayer shooter. That is just something that they have to keep on top of. Yeah, GTA's always had cheating as well. Mods and modders even on GTA consoles ridiculous. Well, some mods on GTA are fantastic, aren't they? But it's the hacks that are the problem. There's VAT Spy. Oh well, we don't need to worry about VAT Spy. They've all gone for a siesta anyway, so it doesn't matter. There's literally nobody. There is just nobody online in Spain. Look at this. So we'll be on Unicom still, I think. Well, we went to Palma yesterday. Now we have the likes of Minecraft and Sony buying the publishers. The reason they do that is because when it comes to consoles, it's Sony versus Microsoft, and then you've got Nintendo who do a completely different thing. But primarily it's Sony versus Microsoft. And with a console, exclusives matter massively. So they want to buy the publisher so that they can get all the exclusives on their console. Commercially, it makes a lot of sense. If 2042 is supposed to have a full studio making post-launch content, well, if nobody's playing or buying the game, they're not going to do it. Hey, Big Screw. Well, I don't know. They use the Frostbite engine is used in other titles other than Battlefield. Yeah, what happened to Bethesda? They've not done anything for a long time. Let's see how EA get on with F122. I don't know what to say, Tom. Bethesda's making a space game. What kind of space game? Yeah, they're recovering from the fallout of Fallout. Crawler Snipe, thank you for 55 months. Bethesda are making Starfield, a big reveal tomorrow. Oh, so hang on, what's Starfield then? Is it like a massive multiplayer game? Is it an adventure game in space? Like, what is it? RPG? Okay. First person? It's a space Skyrim. Okay. That's interesting. When the reveal is tomorrow, have they got what are they revealing it? Let's have a look, Beatnik. Starfield. Watch the trailer. Join Constellation. Is the first new universe in 25 years from Bethesda. It's a next generation role-playing game set amongst the stars. Create any character you want. Explore with unparalleled freedom as you embark on an epic journey to answer humanity's greatest mystery. What is humanity's greatest mystery, by the way? Do we know? Starfield official trailer. Announced at the Xbox and Bethesda Games Showcase. I take it they'll put it on their YouTube channel then. Is that actual in-game footage or? See, the question is always like, what planets can you land on? See, that looks cutscene-esque. Hmm. 11/11/22. Xbox Bethesda conference is today. I thought it was supposed to be revealed during that. That's at 6 PM. I don't know. It's been delayed to 2023. Oh my god. Oh yeah, there it is. Arrives on Xbox Series X, S and PC. So yeah, Microsoft backed. You see, it's the kind of thing that sells a console. People will literally buy a console to play that game. But, we can't. 12th of May. We can't wait for you to play Starfield, but we need some more time. First half of 23. So not the first quarter, the first half. So you're probably looking at like May, June. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We will see. You're looking forward to Hogwarts Legacy? That sounds like something Mrs. Squirrel would play. Seems a lot like Elite Dangerous. I don't know. I don't know about that. I've not seen enough there to say that. You know, like Elite Dangerous gameplay. Like, just because it's set in space, you can't say it looks like Elite Dangerous. It's about what you do in it. Elite Dangerous isn't really about character development, where I suspect the Bethesda game will be. Space game fan, I'm looking forward to this. Obviously something good. It's yeah, I don't know what the showcase is though, because there seems to be some people are saying tonight, some people are saying tomorrow. I look forward to the day we get a decent realistic train driving sim. Have you tried Run 8? That focuses on trains, but don't expect too much from the graphics. But it has realistic, you know, for example, realistic brake line pressure management. Combating Josh, thank you for 4 months. Throwing my Prime sub, thank you very much. Tonight is the Xbox showcase. Could be then. You know what DLC will be for the next flight sim? I don't know. They have a roadmap that tells you. Watching the F1 race currently. Robert G, how you doing? Sorry, Robert 6. So we should have Portugal. Should be visual with Portugal soon. We're flying. Porto will be on our right when we get over here. Vigo and Porto. Straight over the top of Lisbon. Do you think PMDG will bring the long-haul aircraft to Microsoft Flight Sim? Yep. I think they will port all of their stuff as best they can to Microsoft Flight Sim. You know, I can't see... It's obviously going to take a few years for momentum, but I think you'll see a move away from P3D onto Microsoft Flight Sim. They already said, you know, a year or two ago, they were refocusing all their efforts on this platform. So, yeah. Every time they bring a plane onto a Microsoft Flight Sim, they can print more money. Why would they not do it? It's a much bigger market. So yeah, probably 737, get all the variants out of the way, then I would have thought 777 would come next. I'd love to see the 777 in this. and then maybe they'll do the 747. I don't know. It depends whatever they think commercially makes sense, or technically, you know, one might be more technically difficult than the other. You know, they've done the hard work. They've got a plane out on the platform, because the way they seem to write their code is it has like a common engine, and they've written that engine now. Oh, I would love A2A to bring some stuff over, yeah, absolutely. PMG, you'll have to speed up the work, as Microsoft announced that due to the success of Microsoft Flight Sim 2020, they will be releasing Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. Wait, what? They never released it as 2020. They released it as Microsoft Flight Simulator, but the community, or some of the community, put 2020 on the name to distinguish it from FSX, but they never called it 2020. And I certainly don't think they'll call it 2024 either. It's just an ongoing platform. It's supposed to work on the Comanche, but no updates on the forum. Well, what should they have called it, Captain Flint? You see, when they used to have the original Flight Simulator, it was back in the day when you released versions of games, and you released them on CD, yeah? Version 1, version 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. And then some of them started calling it, 13, 14 after the year. And we're now in a place where this is a platform that's constantly evolving, and they can push out the updates over the internet. You don't need version numbers anymore. You just call it Microsoft Flight Simulator. Flight Sim World? No, that would be confusing with Dovetail. Did you hear about Captain Sim A38C announcement? I did not. What was that? It's a weird little turn in the sky, isn't it? Windows 10 was hacked to the last Windows. Yep. And they went back to doing versions of it. Because I think when it comes to operating systems, it is actually important to have major version numbers for a whole host of reasons. But you don't need to do that with this. I think Dovetail aborted Flight Sim World when they found out confidentially that Microsoft was developing a flight simulator. At that point, they just went, yep, there is no point doing this. It really does need an external sound option, I agree. Not only that, Venox, it's about support levels. Like, Microsoft offers support for Windows 11, 10, and then they'll drop support for like 8. It's like a roll-in thing. It's the same thing in any business support. You can say, we support this version of Windows and this version of Windows. If you don't have any version numbers, what do you support? It's tricky. Windows 11 is quite important for Intel, isn't it? Because I think the latest Intel chips need Windows 11 for them to perform properly. Can't see much of Portugal right now. I have my slippers on. I have them on and then I keep taking them off and then I put them back on again. I've got them on right now. Is that important? You have Windows 11, you regret installing it. Why is that? YX, what's your experience? I've not bothered with Windows 11 yet. Need slipper cam. You think 11's part is to try and push harder encryption? Possibly correct. There is certainly an element of that. Pushing people onto Windows 10 from 8 was all about getting people onto the Windows Store as well, because the Windows Store was only on Windows 10 and upwards. And I think DirectX, was it 10 or 11, was only on Windows 10 as well. You was blocked from upgrading to Windows 11 until this week. But you love it now, Mikey. Interesting. What I find weird about Windows 11 is they've kind of looked at what OS X does with its dock bar at the bottom and just gone, let's do that. It just feels like a rampant copy. You know, Windows has always had this start menu and they've thrown it away and put this like dock bar at the bottom. It's odd. The thing is, you know that Windows 11 under the hood is literally just Windows 10. Like, they can reskin it all they want, but under the hood it's the same dirty code. You can move it to the left. Woo! Yeah, the point is, bro, why by default it looks like OS X. Hey, yeah, we can see land ahead. Look at that. Looks like the cloud might be thinning out over the hills. Install 11 install should open a shell look like 10. You see, the only problem with that, Crow Daddy, is you'd be amazed by how many people will never change away from default settings. Whether it's default browser, default look and feel, default theme, they'll just leave it. Most people just leave it. And so if you default to Windows 10, most of your installation base will look like Windows 10. What's the screen for so I can watch the F1? You appears to think the only best version of Windows were XP and 7 and nothing else. I mean, Windows 8 was just trash. I agree with that. Windows 95 was okay. 98 was not really better. XP was definitely better. 7 was good. 8 was rubbish. 9 never happened. 10 I'm running and I don't have a problem with 10. 11 I've not tried it. Windows 2000 was pretty solid. I used it a lot, Windows 2000. Same with Windows NT4. I used NT4, but back then they kind of had a consumer and a business Windows. You know, they kind of had the whole NT server thing, and they had Windows 95 consumer thing, and they gradually kind of brought them together, which is more or less what Windows 2000 was. Just 311 for workgroups. Dear God, that was such a hack. That was like Windows 3 with bolted on network capabilities. Oh, weather snap. Vista. Nobody talks about Vista. No, nobody talks about, like, Microsoft would rather you never mention Vista. Windows 11 is 10 with everything moved around, probably. But like has been noted, there's some under the hood stuff being changed, encryption and stuff. Look at this, you hit this mountain range and then it goes clear after the mountain range. You got 11 on your gaming rig when they kind of forced you to. Well, like I say, if you buy current gen Intel, the latest Intel, you'll need Windows 11. Yeah, you see, Sangro, it's always about that, Sangove. It's always about drivers. It's all very well saying, oh, I'll go to Windows 11, but can you get hardware drivers for all the things that you need to plug in? Because some of the older hardware devices will lag behind. Like Logitech was a classic for that. You know, I had Logitech cameras and stuff, and I couldn't get drivers for Windows 8. It was 7 only. You need to sub Bixcrew, that's what you need to do. Yeah, Langburgers, I don't know what to say, mate. It is what it is. I wonder if GTA 6 will ever happen. Yes. Yes, I would say. It will happen. And I have no doubt they will push the boundaries of your hardware so that in 5 years' time you'll be able to run it at 60 FPS. Do you have TikTok? No, I hate it. I can't stand TikTok. I refuse to go on it. Thank you for gifting a sub to Bixcrew, Sphinx76. Thank you. Mrs. Squirrel watches TikTok all the time. Like, she watches so much of it. It's ridiculous. And she's always posting these links. I don't click on them. I've said to her, I'm not clicking on your TikTok links. Oh yeah, but this has got... I don't care. I don't care. I'm not clicking on it. I think the daughters use it, but not as much as Mrs. Squirrel. I think she's on it more than all of us. If you want to know what's happening in the F1, I suggest you watch it, because I'm not telling you, because that would be spoilers. just a whole load of hills here. Look at this. Fine without any of these platforms, just delete your Instagram and Twitter. Wow. Some of them are useful. Like Twitter can be useful. With Twitter, you can reach companies that you couldn't reach otherwise very easily. Like I tweeted the other day at Asda, and they replied. Instagram's cool if you want to see pics of things. Like I follow quite a few aviation related Instagram accounts, and you know, I'm always scrolling through cool pictures of usually like A380s and things like that, or somebody's made some cool aviation videos. Like it's you know, it's helpful, it's useful, it's a platform. It's up to you how you use it. If you follow a load of junk accounts, you'll end up with junk. Well, Twitter's got all kinds of gossip and arguments and nonsense, but you can mostly stay away from it. Well, there is that, Andy. Yeah, you can lose a lot of time to it. Will you still use Twitter if evil Elon buys it? I don't think he'll buy it, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know, Leanne. I kind of might agree with you though. I don't know if he did it. I don't know what reasons he. The thing is about Elon Musk is he's not a stupid guy. He doesn't do things for no reason. You always sit there thinking, for what reason did he do that? Why did he sort of go down the road of buying Twitter, then sort of back himself out of it? It's weird. Wait, Nuke Davos, I've not heard that before. I guess it's kind of hard to prove though, isn't it? Because you'd have to be in China to see what it promotes you. Birdface, I don't agree with that at all. I mean, you're talking about a guy who in his 20s basically realised what was happening with the internet and, you know, PayPal. He's had quite a few successful companies. He's not lucky or dumb. Anybody that's successful repetitively is not lucky. It stops being luck at that point. Have you seen the stupid challenge done by Chinese people? I don't go on TikTok, so I don't think I have. Watch the videos where he explains rockets. You'll never say he's dumb again. He's not dumb. He's a clever guy. Taking money for cars I never built. Cybertruck and Tesla Roadster. Developing those cars is very, very difficult, Egregious. I think the problem is that his timescale estimates are always wrong. I don't think he inherently... Like, if you want to buy a Tesla, you put a £100 deposit down and then you wait. So it's not really taking your money, is it? He doesn't ask you to pay 10% or 50%. It's like 100 quid. And then when you get the delivery date, then you pay. So I don't think he's inherently taking money like a scam. He's not a scamster. His estimates of time are not always good. Things are a lot harder than he sometimes thinks they are. Like, he's very impatient. He wants things building now, and it's not possible. But he's so aggressive in his timescales that things do get built quicker than they would have otherwise done. I mean, if you'd have said to, if I'd have said to you, right, 20 years ago, some guy is going to start a brand new car company and it's going to be wildly successful, you'd be like, give me a break. Start a brand new car company. What about Audi? What about Toyota? Like, give me a break. How are you going to compete? And yet he's done it. And then SpaceX on top of that, like, he's put rockets up into space cheaper than anybody has ever done. Like, you can't say the guy's stupid. I mean, the whole reusable rocket thing is just unbelievably fascinating to watch. Rockets that go up and then come back and land themselves. Nobody'd done that before. No, he's not the engineer. He's not the engineer. But then, if that's like saying the conductor of an orchestra is not relevant, because he's not the one playing. He's not the guy with the girl with the violin or the guy with the drums. He's not the guy playing, is he? If he's the orchestra, like the conductor. But you see what happens to an orchestra without a conductor. The whole thing falls apart. He's a visionary, is what he is. And, you know, for whatever reason, a lot of people follow him and a lot of people make things happen because of him. You can't say he hasn't changed the world. I mean, there's a difference between liking the guy and not liking the guy and not recognizing what he's done. You have to be objective about things. You can't just, you know, dislike people because you don't like them. You can dislike them, but you can't just refute what they've done as, you know, in the face of factual evidence. That's not the way orchestras work, Poplarcat, and that's not the way companies work. Effective companies work because of good leadership. That's the way it is. You know, a squad has a squad leader. They have a squad leader for a reason. If you've ever worked in a team, you'll understand why you need a leader. And if you have a bad leader, it's devastating. If you have a good leader, it's inspiring. Well, that's fine, Birdface, but like I say, just think about what he has actually done. Whether you like him or not, he's changed the world. Right, so Vigo should be behind Porto over there. So Vigo's over there. It's not great visibility right now. I don't know what it is, Landburgers, but a lot of people now can't deal with people disagreeing with them. Like, disagreeing with someone should be viewed as a healthy thing. Like, people having different opinions to you should be viewed as a healthy thing. You can challenge those opinions and even change your own opinion if you think that theirs is actually better than yours. But a lot of people don't take that view. They take the view of, well, your opinion is not the same as mine, you're wrong. And I don't like you because it's different. And that is very unfortunate, because you can't have a healthy debate with people like that. I used to say to my teams when I was, team leading development teams, I used to say to them, I am quite strong-minded and I'll say things and I'll believe in them, right? It's up to you to challenge me. If you can put up an effective debate with me and change my mind, I'll change my mind. If I'm wrong and I'll admit it, and we'll go in that direction. But you have to convince me. Like, I'm not having people just throwing opinions. Like, you have to convince me. Everybody has an opinion. But if you want to propose something and change the way that we work or what we're doing, you better be able to back it up. Yeah, I've done that. I did that for years. Led dev teams. It's not easy being an effective team leader. It's harder than you think. Because a good leader is not a dogmatic leader. Like, a good leader doesn't just say, this is what we're doing, do it, because I'm in charge. You don't inspire people like that. They won't follow you because you tell them to follow you. They'll do what you say, but, they will never respect you. Lol agrees.
Once upon a time, if you said there'd be horseless carriages powered by an invisible gas that is produced in kettles, they'd laugh at you. But that's what Richard Trevithick did in 1801. Or Mackinsons that could travel at 100 plus miles an hour.
Well, look what we're doing right now, right? Look what we're doing right. Like, it's only in the last 100 years that humanity's been able to do this. You think about that. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. What you take for granted now, just flying up in the air like this, has not been possible for almost the entirety of humanity's existence on this planet. That's bonkers. No, Magburns, you're absolutely right. Tesla was 100% the catalyst for that. They have accelerated our path into electric cars. We would not be anywhere near where we are now if it wasn't for Tesla. Yeah, Leanne, that's you need to encourage people to disagree with you. You really do. You need to tell them to disagree with you if they do. The last thing you want is people just... The last thing you want as a team leader is to be surrounded by people that just say yes. Because it just becomes an echo chamber and you never get challenged and you're never always right. You need to inspire people to come up with ideas and then pick the best ones. That's what a leader does. Well, flight was only made possible by the combustion engine. Up until then, you couldn't fly because A steam engine power to weight ratio was not good enough for flight. It was only the combustion engine that allowed flight. So until that was invented, we couldn't generate enough power for the weight that we had for the engine to actually achieve flight. And then later on, of course, we got the jet engine. But that only came from the same fuel, if you like, that was refined from oil that led to the development of the combustion engine. And without oil, we couldn't have done any of that. And without all those billions of plankton and things dying millions of years ago, we wouldn't have had the oil to do it. Interesting. Yeah, fossil fuels. I mean, fossil fuels are hated now. Yeah? They've got such a bad name. Oh, we don't want to be burning fossil fuels. And they're right. But fossil fuels is ultimately what led to all of the industrialization we have today. But yeah, we've got better technology now, which is cool. It's ever crossed your mind that we might have started over at some point? Tech got so advanced it was Armageddon, we started over again 2,000 years ago. I don't know, Sisto. I mean, I think somebody observed once that if humanity was wiped out now, it would be very hard to restart it again, because we've already taken, for example, all of the oil out of the ground that's easy to get to. So any new civilization that grew again wouldn't have access to that oil, and therefore may not get past the industrial era very well. So, I don't know. Same with all the natural resources we've dug up. Steam was definitely the start of it, Chris, and then, well, like I say, combustion engine is what really, quite literally, made things take off. We couldn't do that with steam. Nobody could build a steam engine that would fly. Nobody. It's too heavy. Well, yes, Mikey, but it would take billions of years to put that back again. And there's only about 10 billion years left in the sun. So you haven't got an endless amount of time. So that's Porto. I don't know, Birdface. Oh yeah, you mean the oceans evaporate once it starts swelling out. It will. When it runs out of fuel, that's when it starts to expand, and that's when it will heat up the Earth. Yeah. You're not going to be here in 10 billion years. I can guarantee that, Chris. The humans have evolved enough to move away when the sun's collapsing. If we should be off a long time before then, dude. A long time before then. There's only two possibilities. Either we get off this planet or we all die on this planet. It's that simple. Nah, that's not the way it works, OJ. Want to evolve into an angel? What does that mean? Civilization don't only put space junk. I suspect if you had any civilization on any other planet, they would all go through the same process. You know, the kind of the various eras that you have to go through as a civilization, and one of them is going to be space venturing. As part of that, you're going to be putting junk up there. But at some point, I suspect we'll invent, you know, nuclear-powered space cleaners that will go up there and just reorbit themselves and deorbit all the junk back into the atmosphere and get rid of it. So yeah, I think they'll have to clean it up in the same way they've had to clean the oceans up. No, I don't think it is assuming the same kind of life, Layman. I don't think so. I'm not assuming anything about another civilization, like how they look. I'm saying that they will have to go the same processes of like mechanization, or you know, being able to mass production's a classic one, right? Mass production happened in the industrial era. You have to get to that at some point. In the same way that you have to you have to get everybody out of the fields. Like in the early days of civilization, everybody's a farmer, right? You can't all be farmers, otherwise you'll have nobody doing all the research and stuff. So you need to get people out the farms, and so therefore you need to industrialize your farming so that you can take care of the masses. And then there's the communication side of it. We managed to get that through radio and wire transfer and ultimately satellites. That requires electronics. Electronics requires certain things. Like there's certain eras that you have to go through before you could even get into space. You think about all the technologies that space travel is built on. Everything under that has to be discovered. Not necessarily talking about another human civilization, just another civilization. I don't care if they got 3 arms and 2 heads, like it doesn't... The processes are still the same. If you want to become a spacefaring civilization, there are certain things that you're going to have to go through and not self-destruct on the way. That's the coast of Portugal. Lisbon coming up. Well, that's true. If they had 2 heads there, they might skip a few steps. Would any other life have the capacity of our brain? I don't know. This is just a design of a brain, isn't it? There could be others. I think so, egregious. You always have unique conversations. I don't know how these things get going, but yes. how do you decide on Fuerteventura? Well, I bought the airport for it on Orbex some time ago, I think, but didn't actually fly there. Mostly it's because it's a long flight. So I thought, well, if we can fly there on a long flight at the same time I can watch the F1, that might actually work. Yeah, the green bar is a like a progress bar. Are you really, Crash Bash? Nice. Fuerteventura is one island I've not been to. Is your EGXX scenery from the Microsoft Store Orbex? XX or KK? Been Gatwick? I'm trying to think. Let me have a look in my scenery folder one sec. No, it's Builds, which is Builds Gatwick EGKK. Hang on. Yeah, it's this one. Trying to get you the link. Yeah, I think it's that one. Origami Studios, Gatwick. For Microsoft Flight Simulator, £11.99. It's very detailed and quite cheap, really. Orbex doesn't seem to do one. The same one in the store kills your FPS. It kills my FPS when I connect to VATSIM when I'm down there. Otherwise, it mostly runs okay. This is Lisbon. That's the F1 done. .3 tons of fuel. Wow. See what the weather's doing. Okay, 25 Celsius down there, few clouds now. So that's completely changed. 050 at 14 knots. Interesting. What was we planning on? Runway 01, so that's still valid. That's what Lisbon looks like from 36,000 feet. Cosford Air Show. I just noticed that bay there. Look at that. It's a very kind of man-made shape, isn't it? Such a sweeping curve. I think that's where we landed a couple of weeks ago. No, it doesn't. It really doesn't look that quick when you're up here. It looks like you're just slowly moving across. Yes, 0. I think, Chris, heritage is something you appreciate later in life. That's lovely scenery, look at that. Not today, I don't think, Boeing Y. Even Teslas would be heritage one day. Quite possibly. I'm sure you can already find one, Liam. They're not that difficult. The Airbus is quite forgiving. Even the cold and dark startup's not very hard. Crikey, is that a road? Flipping heck. That's got to be like 2 kilometers long or something. It's absolutely huge. Yeah, Mag Burns, we did, unfortunately we had to take the approach, we kind of flew over the airfield from the south, and then we turned around and came back and landed. So we did get to come in from this direction, overflew, turn round. I don't know, OJ. Wow, there's another runway here. That's mad. What if they still use that? Got one here, and there was one back there. Nice one, Ainsley. I wonder if that's a man-made spit right there. That's Lisbon. I believe that's the Vasco da Gama Bridge, 12 kilometers long. What? I mean, even that one's long. That's huge, that one. I bet that's a toll bridge. Hey, look, there's a plane down there. See it? Somebody coming in. It's not showing them. Oh, that could be EJU 59 Uniform Quebec. Come from Birmingham. Eham to... Wait, they're going to Porto. Can't find that exact plane. There it is. Yeah, it is that. Yep. Birmingham to Lisbon. Sorry, not Birmingham. They came from Schiphol. Schiphol to Lisbon. That's him. Yeah. I don't know why. I think it's because the Eham made me think Birmingham. Peterbilt, thank you for 62 months. Do you have the vessels out on? No. Was that? I did see an Orbex one for that. I don't know if it's the... I've seen various scenery add-ons that add stuff around a city, but not like a general vessel one. So we are tracking out of Lisbon now. Probably able to see the coast of Africa soon. Hey, hello. Right, I am going to go and have a toilet break and get a cup of tea. So I shall BRB about 10 minutes. I'm back. Got a cup of tea, and I've just put some Domino's pizza in the oven to warm up again. Did I just knock something? I must have knocked something when I got in. Why are we suddenly slowing down to 200 knots? I must have caught. I'm trying to think what I could have pressed. I think something deployed the flat, maybe. Can't think what I just knocked. That was weird. They were flying very slowly all of a sudden. No, it's not the flaps. The flaps are definitely retracted, but look at the speed we're doing. Gears up. It's in a fully clean configuration, but why is it refusing to accelerate? No, there's no spoilers, you can see it. The slats are not out. Nothing's out. True airspeed is 408 knots. It's gradually improving again. I don't know. I must have knocked something, but I don't know what it was. The slats were 100% out. Nothing on this control would activate the slats. That's all over there. So it must have been a keyboard thing. That's really weird. Really weird. Anyway, I was about to put a timer in. Probably needs to be a lot less now. Doing it 5 minutes. It's been in the oven 5 minutes. Mr. Biomek, thank you for 17 months. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope you're all doing well, yeah. What a beautiful day for flying. Absolutely. Going to do is going to...
Can we try turning the airplane off and back on again? Kappa.
See messages. No ecam memos now. We could do that, Chris. I don't think it'd go very well. So I put a sent 1412 Zulu, which is in 1 hour's time. And then we'll have to start looking at weather and charts and stuff. See what VatSpy is doing. I guess Spain is just on holiday. Just nothing going on. Nothing at all. France, not much going on. UK, Gatwick, crushing it again. I think there's an event at Dubrovnik today. Yeah, it's very hit and miss. Guess people are having a lazy Sunday. Well, Cloud Pepper, when it came up, I instantly looked down here and it was warning of overspeed. The only thing that would cause that would have been putting the flaps out in some way, but what I can't understand is what I actually did to cause that to happen. That's the bit that I'm missing. No, on VatSim it's voluntary network. There's no defined hours of operation, so it is purely hit and miss whenever people decide to come online and help out. If you want guaranteed service, you need something like Pilot Edge. Pilot Edge covers west side of US, but you can get guaranteed service from 4 PM UK time. Yeah, there's no way I pressed an F key. No way. Very strange. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, you joke, Joseph, but if you want guaranteed service, just go to Gatwick. Events on at Madrid. Yeah, what was the had something in the event list. Stuttgart, that was it. Stuttgart, Bremen, Belgrade are doing something. Didn't see a Madrid one. Didn't see a Madrid one for Sunday. But yeah, if you go Stuttgart, 7 PM onwards tonight, UK time. Same with Bremen. Belgrade's got something going on from 5 PM my time. But I couldn't get any scenery for Belgrade. But yeah, Nebraska, I can't find the one you're talking about in that list. Almost 3 years, Elsinore. Thank you for 35 months. Time flies when you're having fun. Thank you for your support. Wasn't that last Sunday? I think so. It's been removed now, though. Right, one sec. Let's go and get pizza.